Sounds of Sir Q, episode 1 starts now. Hit it! What's up, you guys, and welcome to an all-new season of Sounds of Sir Q. And just to think, I had just left you guys back in late last summer. Needless to say, it feels so good to be back. But oh my god, like from last summer leading up until now, I mean, keep in mind it is a whole new year, and happy new year to you guys as well. But there has been so much that's been going on, from the entertainment world to the reality TV world to politics. It's a lot. So, needless to say, you know what? You guys sit back, enjoy, and let's just jump right into it. It's time for Hot Topics. You know what? Let me just be honest. I owe it to this individual to start with her first. Let's just begin with the lovely and wonderful NeNe Leakes. Look, if you don't know who NeNe Leakes is, she pretty much started the franchise of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And, you know, needless to say, she has had a roller coaster of a career, but she's been able to, every time when something has happened, she's always been able to bounce back. And that's just like anybody in our everyday life that we live, right? But it brings me pleasure to announce, and if you don't know, NeNe is coming back to the Bravo world. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am happy to hear that. You know, we all know that, you know, NeNe was having a lot of issues when it came to Bravo, when it came to Andy Cohen. And, you know, it pretty much ended in like legal woes. And I don't want to say that she was blackballed from Bravo or blackballed from the reality world, but I will say that since she had the legal issues, it really was hard for her to find work. We would see NeNe here and there on, some of these other reality shows, but it was just never anything that was consistent. And, if you're like me, because I'm not going to lie, I'm definitely a NeNe Leakes fan. I wanted to see her, back on something that was mainstream, back on something that was just more consistent. And, to hear that, she's being brought back onto Bravo, it really gives me hope when it comes to NeNe and her reality TV career. So they're going to commemorate the Housewives by doing like a 20th anniversary. And I feel like that's much needed. They're going to bring back all of the OGs of each franchise. And I'm glad to hear that. I really am. I had to dig deep just to do, further research, just to see exactly in what form or capacity NeNe Leakes will be featured in the show. And it's going to be somewhat of a Real Housewives Ultimate Road Trip 20th anniversary special. And, I was looking at the lineup, right? And I saw that, from Atlanta, they were going to have OG as Portia Williams. From New Jersey, they were going to have Teresa. From Beverly Hills, they were going to have Kyle. I'm trying to think who else. From Potomac, they were going to have Giselle. From Salt Lake City, they were going to have Lisa. And from New York, they're going to have Luann. And if I missed anyone, I do apologize. Now, everyone, of course, they were, at an uproar because they saw that for Atlanta, they chose Portia Williams as an OG, which, don't get me wrong, Portia has been, on the platform. She's been on the franchise for quite some time, but I don't know if I would consider Portia an OG. So the fact that they did reach out to NeNe and, it seems as if, she's being offered like a supporting cast member role. I don't know. I don't know to what extent her feature will be on the show. But one thing I will say is it's it's good to see that when it comes to Nene and when it comes to Bravo, that they've come to somewhat of an understanding. You know, I mean, I almost thought that Nene would never be seen on mainstream reality TV ever again, but for me to see that, you know, she has made amends with Bravo, that does give me hope. So much so that, you know, I mean, possibly could she be filmed on, you know, the next season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta? And I don't mean the season that's currently being filmed now, because we know that they're pretty much wrapping up on that season. But, I mean, who's to say for, you know, the next season to come, you know, if she wouldn't be asked to come back as because I know it's baby steps, right? But who's to say that they wouldn't ask her to come back as a friend of to the show? If not, you know, a main cast member, an actual peach holder, mind you. That's what we all would want. We would all want to see Nene as a peach holder, because, I mean, you know, we know that when it comes to Nene, that she will bring the drama. I mean, she has those one-liners. I mean, Nene is, what I've stated before, Nene is a household name. So we definitely want to see Nene more on reality TV again, and more so on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I'm grateful for her. You know, it's good to see that from what I saw, you know, just looking at, she took to live, and, you know, she was basically giving us just a brief little, you know, synopsis of what's to come. Of course, you know, she can't say too much because, you know, she's under contract. And plus, we don't want to know too much because we want to save, you know, everything for the debut of the show. But, you know, she pretty much was just informing us of, you know, that it is true that she will be back on Bravo, and there's more to come of her. And, you know, this is also a little bit of more of what she had to say. I want you guys to take a look at this.
When will filming start? I don't know if I can say this or not. I mean, when does filming start? I've already, to just give you like an inside something, I hope they don't kill me and pull my wig off. I've already filmed one little scene. But the rest of the scenes were happening later this month, and I can't tell you the date, but later this month. But yeah, I've already done like a welcome back kind of scene. And it was really cool. So yeah, I've already filmed, and I filmed with, okay. Y'all just have to guess who I filmed with. I can't tell you everything. I can't tell nothing, actually. Lord, okay, so we'll see what else happens. I mean, there's a lot of things happening, and I can't speak on them. You know, there's a lot of calls and emails and things that are happening behind the scene, and I can't speak on them right now. But a lot of things is happening. So hopefully there'll be more good news coming your way. Yes, I've talked to Phaedra, I've talked to Sheree, I've talked to Cynthia, I've talked to Portia. I'm talking about just in the last like couple days. I've talked to all of them. Obviously, I've gotten text messages and calls from tons of people. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for saying, you know, that I deserve to be here, and I appreciate you guys for that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, some of the comments I don't even want to read out loud because I don't want anything to somebody feel any kind of way. Yeah, so yeah, thank you. Perry Shea, yeah, actually for the scene that I just did, Perry Shea styled me for that scene. So yeah, she got me some really nice looks, and so my next couple of looks, I don't know who's styling me. I got a couple of stylists who want to fly out and style me, but yes, I just worked with Perry Shea. We'll see. BravoCon 2027. Who knows? Thank you so much. much. Big ratings for us. It feels like Super Bowl. I'm excited for you guys to start back having watch parties again. Remember back in the day, everybody would do like watch parties. They would be rushing home on Sunday so they could see the show and stuff like that. So hopefully we get to do some watch parties. That will be so fun. Yes. So, oh yeah, I'm excited to do this. This does feel like Christmas. Thank you guys. It does feel like Christmas. It feels really good. And it's good to close that door and open a new door. You know what I'm saying? So we can move past all of that. This is our Super Bowl, you guys. So I hope you guys tune in. Really support the Ultimate Girls Trip. I'm excited. I wish my role was bigger too. But you know, this is what I was offered to do. So we will see. You never know, because we're talking about some stuff behind the scenes. So you might see me more than you think you're gonna see me. You know, you never know. You know, the girl might be in some other places. So we'll see. Yes, God is good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for saying I look good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Baby steps. Yeah. You know, it couldn't have come at a better time because I'm ready. You know, when I say ready, you have to be ready in a lot of ways. Like, I'm ready.
So I'm not gonna lie. I am super elated for Nene. I'm grateful that, you know, she's back on good terms with Bravo, and it seems like she's in such wonderful spirits. And I will say as well, it's good to see that, you know, her former castmates, Portia Williams, Phaedra Parks, you know, they've been reaching out to her, giving her words of encouragement. Sheree Whitfield, that's a good thing. And also, let me mention as well, even Kim Zolciak. Nene did go on further to say that, you know, she recently met up with Kim. I believe it was her significant other. They saw Kim and her guy friend, I guess at some restaurant. So they decided to, you know, link up together, and I'm pretty sure they reminisced on, you know, the good old days and how things used to be, and it seems like they're back in a good place. And I'm not gonna lie, I love to see that for Nene and Kim. I really do. I mean, you know, when it comes to their relationship, yeah, it was rocky, yeah, it was up and down, but to me, I've always saw it to be a genuine, you know, friendship. I mean, when you have a real relationship with someone, you're always gonna have those ups and downs, you know. And I feel like every time they went down a rabbit hole, they were able to get themselves back out, you know, like they were able to put themselves and find themselves at a better place. I feel like a lot of times, you know, and I've said this before, when you are on a reality show, a lot of times you're gonna have fractured relationships and friendships. It's just the name of the game, you know. And I feel as if when one or the other or both decide to no longer film, I feel like that's when they actually have that genuine opportunity to actually come back together and mend fences. That's just my take on it. So honestly, to see that, you know, Nene expressed that her and Kim are back in a good place, I'm really happy I'm happy to hear that, and I'm grateful for them. It would be nice to see them, you know, film together again in the near future, but, you know, only time will tell. I'm just grateful that, you know, Nene, Bravo, Andy Cohen, they can finally, you know, cohesively be in a good place, and they can just move on from all of that, you know, backlash that, you know, that occurred in the past. You know, I feel like, you know, you have to be the bigger person to overcome, you know, certain obstacles, right? And I'm not even gonna say that Nene was in the wrong with what she did. I just feel like Nene was fighting for what she felt was right, and at the end of the day, no one can really say if what Nene did was right or wrong because we were not in Nene's shoes. You know, like we don't really know like the full extent of the things that transpired, you know, from the duration of the time that she was on the show. We really don't know. So only Nene knows that, and only she understood what she was going through and why she felt compelled to do what she needed to do. So I'm never going to, you know, say that what Nene did was a bad thing. Nene did what she felt was right in that moment. And that's why I say that you have to know that Andy had to have had some sort of understanding with everything that transpired for them to now, you know, come back and be at a good place, you know? So, I mean, again, I'm just happy for Nene. I'm grateful to see that, you know, she has signed on back to Bravo, NBC Universal, and I feel like we will be seeing more of Nene Leakes. So, congrats to you. Oh my God. Have you guys been watching The Real Housewives of Potomac? Oh my goodness, these ladies. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it has been a really good season. But I will say, Angel Massey. I mean, oh my God. Now, don't get me wrong. I love me some Angel. But poor thing, I just feel like they are not giving that lady a break whatsoever. I mean, you know, you can tell that she's trying to be as authentic as she can be. But for whatever reason, Gizelle is not letting up on her. But to be perfectly honest with you, that is Gizelle's MO, right? Like anytime when a newbie, you know, comes onto the platform, she has to haze them in her Gizelle form, in her Gizelle type of way. And, you know, I guess that just comes with, you know, her being the OG and being on there since day one. I guess it just goes with the territory, right? So, I mean, we can all say that every time there's a newbie that comes on the show, especially if they're not really linked and connected to Gizelle, they're bound to be hazed. And that's exactly what's going on with Angel right now. And I mean, it's almost to the point where poor Angel, she's almost reaching her breaking point. But I'm going to give it to her because I feel like that she is standing her ground. She is being as authentic as she possibly can be. And she's trying to form a bond and a friendship amongst the ladies. But every time she just continued to... she hits a roadblock, and it just causes, you know, an issue and a situation that it's almost to the point where she can no longer get herself out of. And I'm grateful that she has Kay because you can tell that her and Kay really have a genuine, you know, friendship, a true bond when it comes to their togetherness. And I'm just glad that she's there to be, you know, that shoulder to lean on, to be that that support mechanism that she's looking for. I'm grateful to see that, you know, within the two of them. And even Tia, you know, Tia seems like she is a good friend to Angel as well. But I mean, the dynamic amongst her and the other ladies, it's just ridiculous. And look, at first they were on Stacey, you know, hardcore. And then, you know, later on down the line, as the season progressed, then they wanted to lean towards hazing Angel. But I feel like that's always Gizelle's MO. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's really a combination of Gizelle and Ashley. And I know someone had mentioned this before in like the blogs I was reading. It's always weird when the main one that tries to, you know, cause the hazing or cause all of the crazy dynamics amongst the group is always the one that really has the least of a storyline. And I'm saying that because Gizelle has now become an empty nester, right? Like, you know, her girls, they're off to college and, you know, she's really not showing that much of her dating life. So what more do you have of a storyline other than to cause chaos amongst, you know, these groups of ladies? And pretty much that's what she's doing, alongside with her sidekick, Ashley. Now, I will say this. I feel like time is definitely running out for Ashley. I feel like Ashley is going to be in the next situation as Robin was in, because I feel like as an audience watching the show, I just feel like Ashley is getting to a point where she really doesn't have any more to bring to the table, right? I mean, when she had Michael on the show, I mean, she had storyline after storyline after storyline, because he was always wrapped up in some sort of drama, you know, amongst, whether it be the ladies, you know, whether it be the guys, or even whether it be people in production. You know, he was always in some drama. So that's what kept Ashley and her storyline going. And now that she has divorced Michael, you know, she no longer has any type of really connection with him, other than, you know, other than being co-parents, you know, with their children. There's really not much that Ashley has to bring to the table. I mean, she can't really show anything about her singing career, because Lord knows she can't sing. I mean, the only thing that she really has ties to the show is the G&A apparel that her and Giselle share together. And I don't even know if it's an apparel. Who knows what type of business it is? We just know it's called G&A. That's all we know, right? But that's the only thing that that she has tied on the show that produces a storyline for her. And if it wasn't for that, we really wouldn't even care to see Ashley. So, yeah, I feel like her time is running out. Now, me personally, Monique came back at the right time. So, welcome back, Monique, because we are so happy to see you back on Bravo. We're so happy to see you back as a housewife, even though you are a friend of the show. But I feel like that will soon change. I will honestly say that me seeing this Monique this season, I love this Monique. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I enjoyed the old Monique before she left the show, because Monique has always had an authenticity about her. Like, when I saw even though, you know, she may have been having issues behind the scenes with, you know, with Chris, but she still tried to be as real and as authentic as she possibly could be. And that's one thing I always liked about Monique, and I always respected about her. And she would give it to the ladies, you know. She had no filter at the end of the day, and she didn't really hold back. And that's what I appreciated about Monique. And to see her back onto the platform, like, it's just a breath of fresh air, you know. And so honestly, I would rather, even though, you know, she came back as a friend to the show, it would be nice to see more of her in a bigger capacity. I mean, just go ahead and give her flute. And honestly, because we all know that Giselle, even though Giselle may have less of a storyline, Giselle is still considered top tier when it comes to the Potomac Housewives, right? I mean, come on, we're just going to call a spade a spade. She really is. She's top tier. So it would just make more sense for them. And I mean, and look, Ashley, I'm pretty sure someone's going to send, you know, this clip to her, and she may feel away. She may want to clap back, and then I don't mind clapping right back at her. But I'm just only speaking the truth at the end of the day. And I feel like it would be okay for them to demote Ashley, bring her back as a friend to Giselle. I mean, if you put the two of them together, that gives them both good storylines. It keeps them both getting paychecks. They both continue to have a job. But bring someone else in that deserves to hold that flute. And I say that most importantly because we got to keep in mind now that the Grande Dame, and I'm still going to call her that because look, that's just what she is to me. That's what she'll always be. Karen Huger is back. Look, she has been released from prison and she's done her time, right? And so, I mean, it's time to bring her back as a main cast member as well. You know, the sad part about it is when she was released, they were pretty much almost done, you know, with filming. They were now about to, you know, have their cast trip. So, I mean, it really wouldn't have made sense to, you know, bring her back onto the show. But she still had to make her comeback, you know. So, the fact that they are going to, I think Andy, I want to say towards the season finale, Andy's going to have like a little one-on-one with her. And, you know, it's also been said, allegedly, that she's also going to make a guest appearance on the reunion show as well. So, I mean, it's going to be great to see her back onto the show. But yet again, she's going to need to be another individual who's going to need that full-time flute, because Karen is also another one that will bring what we're looking for when it comes to keeping us glued to the television, right? I feel like Karen is that individual, along with Monique, that will really give us what we're looking for to keep us drawn in to each and every episode. So let's just hope, fingers crossed, that they bring Monique and Karen back as full-time castmates, and just go ahead and demote Ashley and make her a friend to the show. Well, look, you guys, because I know that y'all have short attention spans, right? So I'm going to, end it here. I will say it's been a pleasure coming back. I'm grateful to be doing a whole new season. But needless to say, you guys, I'm going to be bringing more to the table, more to the platform. So just bear with me. I thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys, don't forget to follow me on the other social media platforms. Make sure that you go to my Instagram page, which is I am Sir Q. That's I am SIRQUE. And stay certified. Until next time, you guys, I'll see you next episode. Peace.